giant Golliath's skull, found in West Jerusalem, with David's stone still embedded in the skull. David used his slingshot and threw one stone which killed Golliath. A team of famed archaeologists and biblical scholars confirmed that the enormous giant skull that was unearthed west of Jerusalem is that of the giant Golliath that was slain by the young King David. They also say that the stone embedded in the forehead came from David's slingshot. This excited the scientist, Dr. Richard Martin, who discovered this amazing relic. It was found at the foothills of the Judean mountains last spring. The German archaeologist says that the find proves that the battle between David and Golliath did occur just the way that the Bible describes it. Dr. Martin said, in Jerusalem, "I was convinced before this that this was the skull of the 10-foot Palestinian giant described in the Bible." Dr. Martin and his assistants found the huge skull during a routine archaeological survey in the valley of Velach, where David's conquest of the towering Golliath reportedly took place. And this is a summary of the story in full. The Philistine army had gathered for war against Israel. The two armies faced each other, camped for battle on opposite sides of a steep valley. A Philistine giant, measuring over 9 feet tall and wearing full armor, came out each day for 40 days, mocking and challenging the Israelites to fight. His name was Golliath. Saul, the king of Israel, and the whole army were terrified of Golliath. One day, David, the youngest son of Jesse, was sent to the battle lines by his father to bring back news of his brothers. David was probably just a young teenager at the time. While there, David heard Golliath shouting his daily defiance, and he saw the great fear stirred within the men of Israel. David responded, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of God?" So David volunteered to fight Golliath. It took some persuasion, but King Saul finally agreed to let David fight against the giant. Dressed in his simple tunic, carrying his shepherd's staff, sling, and a pouch full of stones, David approached Golliath. The giant cursed at him, hurling threats and insults. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds of the air, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. It is not by sword or by spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." As Golliath moved in for the kill, David reached into his bag and slung one of his stones at Golliath's head. Finding a hole in the armor, the stone sank into the giant's forehead and he fell face down on the ground. David then took Golliath's sword, killed him, and then cut off his head. When the Philistines saw that their hero was dead, they turned and ran. So the Israelites pursued, chasing and killing them and plundering their camp. I'll leave a link below for you for this article.